Okay, let's get that sound right. So I can't say I haven't seen you for a while because I've seen you lots in this month of Ramadan.
Shukar, after the many interactions that we have had over the years, I think this interview is long overdue.
Actually, this is the first time we're talking as an interview,
First
right?
time.
I'm amazed.
I've actually been on your previous show, the Ashraf Garra show, but you were not the host at that time. I think you were on leave. So this is the first time we're actually talking on air.
Well, you're right. I remember that on SAFM, and I was not there on that
Right.
day, and then they got someone else to talk to you, much to my dismay. But anyway, that's what happened, right? So let's talk about you. I mean, we're talking to you because, I mean, as you know, I drive the project called Champion South Africa with a stated goal of turning South Africa into a champion nation, and that is built on champion people. And you've been identified as certainly one of the people in our community. And we showcased a whole range of people in the last month that fits the title of champion people. So there we are, Yaseen Theba, champion people. How does that fit with you?
Like I mentioned, we were. I think I even tweeted the definition of champion, whether it's a verb or a noun. And I think I'm going to take us back to that conversation. But I mean, before the title comes, I think I'm just fortunate that I've been given so many opportunities from a young age. I think it's just built in us that instinctively we want to get involved and we want to get things happening. And of course, that comes from having a good foundation. Going to school, we learned that over the years, helping in our community is not something that we need to make a decision on or something that we need to get active in, but instinctively just to get involved. When you see someone needing help or an organization doing something, to instinctively get involved. And I think from foundation, from my youth, my grandparents, my teachers, growing up in a school where the teachers not only concentrated on circular education or in Islamic education, but also got us very involved in community work from a very, very young age. That continued as an instinct. So a lot of people ask me, why do I get involved in certain things or certain projects? But genuinely, there's no decision for me to get involved in certain projects or certain things. It's just instinctively being over the years to start to get involved.
All right, so let's talk about then. What are you involved in? So list the various things that you do right now.
Currently I own a private security company called Vision Tactical. We based in Johannesburg. We're now rolling out in Cape Town, in Durban, expanded in Pretoria last year. Alhamdulillah, it's also given me the opportunity to serve the community in ways that make a lot more possible. I also chair an organization called the Muslim Association of South Africa, dubbed MASA recently. We became very, very active in recent weeks or in recent months with the lockdown, feeding mainly in the areas where we knew that people were not getting food, were not getting access to move around so that they could buy their food. Also assisting people with home-based care, oxygen concentrators, medical equipment, supporting the healthcare workers. And Shukar, the combination of the private security company with the NPO, everyone's support, and of course the mercy of our Creator, we were able to get to people when they needed it the most.
Yeah, and I mean, before, maybe less active now, I think Operation SA, which is an organization that was delivering water, I think it started with an acute shortage in the Western Cape a couple of years ago, and you were a key member of that organization too, right?
So that was Operation Hydrate. Operation Hydrate, yes. Started 2014, 2015 drought. Started in Free State, actually. But again, it was instinctively where we knew that there was a desperate need for water. And without planning to create a national campaign or a national movement to save water, we headed out to the Free State to assist the community in a very rural area in Senegal. And the farmers were going through some extreme challenges there. Alhamdulillah, we were able to get to them, assist them where we could. And within a week, that emotion of just reacting to people that needed water snowballed. We had people collecting water all over the country, distributing water all over the country. And shukar, we were able to mobilize hundreds. But more than that, we saw that we needed to create an awareness on the shortage of water. And that's when the campaign transformed, and we got a lot more people. And from Operation Hydrate, we then went into Operation Essay, where we got involved in other projects.
Okay. And I mean, to top all that off, I mean, you've been involved in what, the Mandela Legacy Project. Tell me about that.
The Mandela Legacy Project, over the years, the Mandela family has been involved in a number of books, publishing a number of books and things. And we realized that there were some issues with regard to the rights of certain images and information. We needed an entity to secure those images and make sure that those images and assets, other tokens, were all kept securely. So I got involved with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, the Nelson Mandela family, Winnie Mandela herself, Zinzi Mandela herself, and of course Zondo Mandela, Lindo Mandela. And what we did is we created an entity to secure those assets and basically preserve it in a way that it can be used for future generations and also not exploited to what we see.
Well, you see, that means you were already in the security business even before you started Vision Technical. I mean, if you get my point, right? What do you see as your purpose then? I mean, like, yeah, what is your purpose, Yaseen?
I genuinely get a different self-satisfaction trying to help people. I think taking people's duas all the time. It's something I learned from my teachers, from my ustads back in the day. The late Mulana Garra, who's also your family member. I was fortunate to grow up in an institution that he was very instrumental with, Mulana Abbas Ali Jinnah. Those elders guided us and instilled a certain amount of community spirit in us. So more than the education in the madrasas that we attended, I think that the basics that they taught us: always take people's duas, always make sure that you've got people making dua for you. And I think that gives me a different type of satisfaction. So everything we do, whether it's in the business that we run or whether it's in the work that we do, I think if we can take people's duas, I think that's the ultimate satisfaction for us.
Mm-hmm. And for people who don't get that, we're just like, what do we just take duas? Like, how much? I'd rather take something else. Help those understand who don't get it, why taking people's duas is that important.
I think I've been through so much in business and in some of the business deals that we've done. That your business is there today and tomorrow it's gone, and we've seen that in the last 2 years during COVID, where so many businesses have just closed overnight. But I think that support, we always see the negative. We at the moment we're debating social distancing or no social distancing in Moscow. We're debating whether the masks should be worn or not worn. But there's so many positives that we need to hold on to, and seeing the community spirit, working together with community people, especially during lockdown in level 5 when people couldn't move around, and we saw how people moved around. But going to people's homes, work. We got quite involved with the local burial committees and things. And, going into people's homes when their own family members couldn't support them.
Yeah. Wow.
That relationship with them is an everlasting relationship. I meet some of those families today, and nephews couldn't attend their uncles' funerals, or grandchildren didn't attend their grandparents' funerals. And today, when I meet those families and the support that we gave them over that time, that's priceless. So that's the duas that I'm talking about. But
absolutely,
with those duas, there comes relationships that that give us so much of satisfaction, number one. Number two is, just today I had someone call me and say that they needed to see a doctor urgently. And on a phone call, I could call a specialist it's always very, very difficult to get an appointment with her. I could call her on the back and she gave us an appointment immediately to assist us with someone that really needed to see a doctor. But it's because of the relationships that we've built and the opportunities that we had that we can call on favors, if you want to call it, but that network and that satisfaction of helping people all the time is priceless.
Well, I mean, that's social capital for you, but it also is a two-way street. So you can approach people because they can approach you, and I think it works both ways. More to come, and you'll be fascinated by just how much Yaseen Theba has achieved and impacted on society, I think, big time. We talk to him more about that right after this.
Mates Linen Eid Sale now on. Pop in store for these amazing deals. Quilts from 170 Rand. Private collection standard pillows, twin pack from 80 Rand. Pierre Cardin duvet covers from 250 Rand. Assorted scatters from 100 Rand. We are stockers of Linen House range and designer curtains by Stuart Graham. Let Mates Linen turn your house into a home. Mates Linen branded outlet. 202 Brickfield Road, Overport, Durban. Call us on 031 209 0176.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry. My Lord, show me right from wrong.
Huda SA is an organization that focuses primarily on assisting communities within the eThekwini region by collaborating with existing Islamic centers, mosques and madrasas. Your contribution goes towards the uplifting of orphans and vulnerable children, including vulnerable families, by assisting with education, welfare, nutrition and maintenance of madrasas, mosques and Islamic community centers. Make the difference. Donate to our noble causes. More information is available at huda-int.org or WhatsApp or call us on 031 271 3049.
My Lord, show me right from wrong. Give me light, make me strong. I know the road is long.
It's been a household name for years. It's been an important ingredient in South African kitchens, and it's been an affordable, healthy choice for your family. Helios. First our pure sunflower cooking oil, and now introducing Helios Margarines and Spreads. Following the same traditions and tastes you've grown to love and trust from Helios. Fortified with vitamins A, D, and E, also rich in omega-3 and 6 essential fatty acids for a healthy eating lifestyle. Helios Margarine and Spreads. Available now at all leading South African supermarkets. Helios Margarine. The tradition lives on.
This Ramadan, can we still feel the heartbreak, the grief, the pain? Islamic Relief needs you to keep feeling, because the believers are like one body. When any part aches, the whole body aches. Feel their pain. From just 450 Rand, you can ease their pain this Ramadan. Donate now to Islamic Relief. Visit www.islamic-relief.org.za.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Mayiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
This is Salam Media, and you are tuned into the Ashraf Garda Show.
as we continue chatting to Yaseen Theba. Yaseen, I'm looking at your, I mean, you know what, the trouble with all of us, me and you, we talk and we tweet at the same time. So Catherine Constantinidis, she can't stay away from tweeting as well, saying the MD of Vision Tactical, Yaseen Theba, chairman of the Muslim Association of South Africa as well. Your work is inspiring and truly you're one of the selfless leaders of our society. You continue to inspire citizenship and certainly the epitome of what it is to be an everyday hero with a South African flag next to it, instinctive service and leadership. I mean, you can't get that sort of endorsement from anybody. I mean, and there's people just don't know it because they feel like it. They've seen your track record, right?
It's inspiring that Catherine sees says that, because we are motivated and inspired by some of the work that she's been doing, especially a recent trip to Kabul in Afghanistan, but also locally with the Boyson's fire victims. She's been absolutely phenomenal, rallying support, working with organizations, also with the Salam Media Foundation and Azhar on the team. But again, it's opportunities and relationships and connections and networks that make us stronger. And Catherine has always been very, very supportive, always inspiring us. And we're very grateful for support.
Well, great. Enough about Catherine. Let's get back to you, right? What do you think? I mean, when we talk about your skill set, what is it? What for you is your strongest skill?
Shukr, I think just the ability to network and communicate with people, get along with people. I always say I'm so fortunate to have, when I say senior alims, as my friends, and I've got youngsters that literally help me in the mosque every evening that you probably see, that I call my friends. So it's such a wide spectrum of people that I can call friends, and Shukr, I can have wonderful conversations for hours, and we can connect and socialize and work together with so many different age groups and so many people, so many different groups from different backgrounds. And I think
where were you first aware of that skill? Like, because sometimes there's an awareness that you realize, like, actually, hold it, I make chomis quicker than other people, and not just friends to say, how is it we can get people to mobilize? Yeah.
It's not, you don't realize it until someone tells you or shows you the opportunities that there are. And Shukr, I've been given the opportunity to use that to benefit communities, to benefit social work in our areas. And that's when you realize that, that leverage and that benefit of just mobilizing people, getting people to work together, connecting groups, connecting people, it's something that we need to use, and something. So Shukr, that's a blessing, and I'm forever grateful that I can pick up the phone and call Ashraf Garra or call Yusuf Abramji and put the two of them together, even if they're not talking to one another. And I've got that relationship with people, and if we're using it for good, that's the plus. So
absolutely,
you don't realize it. You realize it when you see the benefit.
Yeah. Well, part of what we do is we have bird's eye views, and we get into areas you don't know. So someone says that your son Rehan sees you as his role model. I know that now. Okay. What do you feel about that? I mean, it's something we tend to dismiss in the world. When children say, "I look up to my father,"
I took Rehan this past weekend to a facility with Selo Hatang, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and we visited a facility in Soweto. But Rehan on his own observed, and at 5 years old, he decided that he wants to start collecting toilet roll, because Selo Hatang mentioned that one of the needs was toilet roll. But again, I'm just happy that instinctively he's developing that need to want to help people. And a lot of my friends, a lot of my family call him Mini-Me. And I'm absolutely chuffed that he fights. He wants to come to the mosque. He wants to do things. I'll actually share with you a little video where he was rolling up the carpets last week at the mosque. But it's a different type of joy. I know that there's a legacy that I'm building there. But again, it's important that he learns that instinctively he needs to get involved and start helping people. And I'm seeing that with my little girls as well. They want to get involved and help people and get involved in social work and charity work.
Yeah. So you've done, there's so many touch points. There's you in the mosque, and I'm talking of the Houghton Mosque, as you know, I frequent it often. There's you in terms of vision, tactical, providing top-class security. There's you with the Muslim Association, the Mandela legacy, etc. Do you have like one or two really good stories? Because you must have it. Really good stories that you can share about your experiences?
Where do I start? I think the COVID period and being able to help people during times when there was just no support. I saw elderly men sitting at home crying, and not because they didn't have family support, but because it just wasn't possible, because you had families and you've got children that are dealing with their symptoms. In order to protect their parents, they're not going to the houses. And then you've got parents that are getting infected or just lonely. And I think some of those interactions changed my life, that's for sure. Shukr, we had training on PPE, and we were able to get into those houses and assist some of those elderly people. Those conversations changed my life. Definitely changed my life. I had conversations with people that at that time didn't know whether they're going to make it through that few days. And the things they share with you at that time, they're not talking to people. They're in isolation in a room for 3 or 4 days. And when you actually start interacting with them and they don't know what the next 2 days, what's the outcome of the next 2 days. Yeah. Those conversations were conversations that changed my life. So that's definitely stories that I can share with you, and it's there's so many. There's just so many, but the conversations with the people especially, and then of course over the past few years I've been involved in the burial committees, and there's so many stories on how families also deal with the loss of a family member. We don't realize that when you lose a family member, the panic and the trauma, and with that, you a lot of people deal with panic, with stress, with the trauma of losing someone very, very differently. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you see a very real person. Sometimes you see a person that exposes. You see family politics when in the heat of the moment, but you also see families come together. You see support structures of communities come together. You see neighbors supporting people, and there's those small stories in that big story of just the burial work that change you.
Well, maybe it needs to be documented, but maybe another time. We've got about 3 minutes to go. Here's a quick one. You're not doing it now, but if you had to write a book about yourself, a biography, what would you title it?
Definitely Beyond Boundaries, because there's so many stories over the recent weeks that we broke boundaries, and I often share this with someone that I consult with quite a lot, and we sort of think in a box on a lot of things, but when we start exploring and we start interacting with different communities, different projects, we start finding that when we break those boundaries, we are able to do so much more. We're able to get so much more done, and the satisfaction that you get once those boundaries are broken is so much more fulfilling.
Well, there you are. And just the last thing then, if you track back the things that you've done, how do you measure your own impact? And I know you've given the du'as, and I understand all that, but because you do so many things, how do you measure that actually, I'm successful at what I do?
I genuinely don't consider myself successful. Over this last month, I spent a lot of time in the south of Joburg and seeing some of the conditions there. I don't consider myself successful. I think we've still got so much of work to do. I don't think we can call ourselves successful until we see people in our community in a much better state. And you don't have to go far. We don't have to go in South Africa or we don't have to go into some of the refugee camps and to see some of the stress that's right on our doorstep. And I don't think,
I agree with you.
I know that we've got a lot of work to do, and I don't think we can call ourselves successful until we as a community come together and start addressing some of those needs. But as not only successful, I think we're going backwards because some of those people's conditions are getting worse day by day.
Yeah, really, really sad. Okay, here's the last thing in 30 seconds, right? The Houghton Mosque, where you're very much a part of it, West Street. I mean, you probably that mosque more than any other in Joburg, especially, has maintained social distancing better than most. Just a quick insight into why you've done that and how you've done it, and you've been the enforcer, I think, by and large, right? In about 30 seconds, yeah.
At the end of the day, the masjid belongs to the community. The community dictate what happens in the masjid, and we need to accommodate our musallis in the masjid. We listen to everyone in the masjid. We try and take everyone's suggestions and considerations into regard. And when we do sit down, we want to make sure that we make it comfortable for as much people as possible. And that's where the enforcement part comes, because we know that we can't allow everyone to do as they please, but we have to take majority of the musallis considerations and opinions in place, and then try and accommodate them and make sure that they're happy. And I think through the month we've tried to give everyone the opportunity to be comfortable and pray in peace. And alhamdulillah, I think we had a good Ramadan in the masjid this month. The people, the musallis that have been coming to the masjid have really enjoyed the Ramadan, especially after missing Ramadan last month. So we pray that inshallah we can get back to normal very soon, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, and I certainly have been a frequenter of that mosque and been very privileged to be a part of it. So inshallah, we'll be there tonight, 29th of Ramadan. Maybe you can accommodate me with a place, even if it's at the back of the queue. You never know, right? Yaseen Theba, thank you for talking to us. And I'll think of that name now, Yaseen Theba, Boundary Breaker.
Exactly.
Right, Assalamu alaikum. There you are, inspiring in terms of the amazing community work that he does. Assalamu alaikum, Yaseen. Well, there you are. Maybe Google and find out more about the amazing work that he's done. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 to 10 as per always. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.